was like 06 is really when it really. It's
Right.
like you're early. We're
Early,
talking like
early.
one of the first viral
Yes.
videos as far as a creator, like viral
Yeah.
videos of like. We captured this silly thing on,
Uh-huh.
but trying to make a video. Who told you to put it on YouTube?
Nobody. I didn't
did
put it
yourself.
up there. That company that filmed me that
Got
day.
it. Thank God.
So what
Right?
happened
Like
was
the amount of things that need to fall into place.
yes, and people think I made a lot of money off that video. I made no money
No,
off
you don't
that
make
video.
shit off that. Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you. He did all right.
Yeah, he did good. He did good.
Even though he did everything I said not to, I was like, just don't get me a round diamond, whatever you do. And then he did. So yay.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
So sweet.
Sorry to bring
But
that
I-
back up again to your husband because he's probably like, what the fuck?
But I love it now. It just took me a while to get used to. I was like, okay, it looks like a flower, but fine.
How long have you guys been married?
10 years.
Oh, yeah, it took a while. Okay.
10 years, yeah.
It took a while. We're together.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get into it.
Okay.
I was just reading up about how you were going about the book writing process of just kind of saving things on your computer.
Yes.
Because I've dreamt of doing this. Like I just write things on my
Right.
notes on my iPhone.
Same.
Like one day.
Sure.
But I've been saying one day forever.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know if I'll ever do it, So what was it like what made you do it? What made you be like, all right, like did you just have finally enough material or enough time or what?
So I feel like God, the universe, whoever will bring things in your life, whether it be a sign, an omen, a person, or whatever that will like push you forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had this document on my computer for years and years. And like you said, I would just add stuff to it here and there. And then during quarantine lockdown 2020, my agents called me and they were like, hey, I think it's time you write your book. And as soon as they said that, I could feel my spirit like almost like butterflies.
Like, oh, this is it. This is the time.
Yeah. And and I was like, you know what? Yeah, now's the time. It feels right. And
I
then
mean, no
it
better
just
time,
happened,
right?
you know?
You can't be on set. You can't be traveling. You can't do other work. You can't tour.
Exactly. It was perfect timing.
That also, quarantine was a funny time for that because it was like a lot of excuses went out the window. A lot of
Hey.
people who were like, I can't do it because of this or can't do it because of that.
Uh-huh.
All that was gone. Now
Right.
it's like not only that, but it's more time than ever or,
More time than ever to eat and do all kinds of things.
I loved when we baked banana bread in like the beginning for like a day and then that
Wasn't
was
the
like,
beginning of quarantine just the best? It was
I
like
honestly-
before a lot of people started dying.
Yeah, so if we could do this without the mass death,
Yeah, exactly.
I would live quarantine life forever.
Let me tell you, like I wish we would adopt like how Spain does siesta. But let's do like I don't know, a couple months of just everybody.
we pick one season for winter. We'll do
yeah,
quarantine.
yeah. Let's
Quarantine
do
for
that.
the
Nobody
winter.
wants to go
Hibernate.
outside anyway.
Let's hibernate for the winter.
Oh my God, the Bears got something going on. They knew something
know
we
what's
didn't.
Up. They really know what's up. They've been doing it right for a long fucking time. I just like once you're out of like party mode and
Yeah.
going out and hooking up and all that, it's like, well, this is great.
Yeah.
And
for the people
ultimate,
who
like,
were not
excuse-
out of party mode and really were trying to hook up, like, I wonder what that was like during quarantine. Like,
Oh, I
we're
bet you
just,
everybody
like-
was lying. Everybody was fucking and saying that they weren't.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't. I haven't seen anybody outside my bubble. It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, those apps were still firing, you know. Those apps
I know.
weren't. They didn't shut those down. And we know how people get. They're not gonna. I bet like for the first. How long would you wait if you were young and still partying? First couple weeks you behave. First month you behave. First.
I don't know,
I think it would
man.
go pretty quickly.
Especially if you're in your apartment by yourself, like you get come on. It's
Yeah, you
it's
convince
the
yourself,
new
like-
have you been tested
Yeah,
conversation. It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
have you been safe?
Have
Are
you
you
seen
wearing
anybody?
your mask?
Yeah.
Are you wearing your mask?
Don't worry. Who cares
Okay.
about the condom? What about
Yeah.
the mask? Are you wearing a mask? Are you wearing a mask? Yeah. So it was the quarantine, and then did you write it, or is it like would you have help from a professional author?
Oh, I
or-
definitely had help.
Yeah, yeah.
So I barely graduated high school.
Okay.
Don't even know how it happened, to be honest. I still think I just made friends with my teachers is what it was.
yeah.
Because I've always
More important,
been,
I swear to God, than doing
yes,
the books.
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I've always been like charismatic and funny with my teachers, whoever I'm with. I just love people, and I think I just kind of schmoozed my way through high school,
Amen.
and like I made friends with my teachers, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Let's pass you."
Yeah, we'll give you a C-. We'll give you a D. Whatever. Yeah.
Just remember me when you're famous, is what they would say. So I don't know how I
wait,
graduated.
so you had it like that back in high school, huh? People had a feeling about you?
Yeah, I went to a few different high schools. I bounced around because I hated school that much.
Okay.
So I just would like go for a little while, and then I would just stop going. I would just quit. I was like, nah, I don't like school. And then it's like, no, you legally, like, you have to go because you're not even
sure your
an
parents
adult.
love that.
Yeah. So I just bounced around a lot. And then in my last school, I had probably one teacher that was very supportive and encouraging, and like, she could see through the class clownness of it, and she was like, there's really like something special. And so she would like send me on assignments to go to other classrooms and to like jump up on the table and like sing a song for the teacher, and like, okay, go to Mr. Rourke's class and like sing "I Will Survive," and I would just be like, all right, let's go.
Wow.
So anyways, I barely graduated high school, so I don't even know what business I had writing a book, which also leads into my title, Who Do I Think I Am? Like, who do I think I am to write a book?
That.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who do I think I am hits on a couple different levels, to be honest. So it's like, who do I think I am? A self-identity story. Like, I'm Mexican, Native American, but I'm Anjelah Johnson. So I grew up always wishing I was more Latino than I felt that I was. I didn't have a Spanish last name. Like,
kind of
I
like
didn't,
in between, not as white, but not as
I didn't live in the
like,
hood. I didn't have no street cred.
Yeah, that
I
sucks when you're stuck in between, because it's like, I wish I was one. You know, if I was cool with them, fine, or if I was just plain old white, fine. But stuck in the middle, nobody rides with you. Yeah.
Like, I wish I could speak Spanish. I wish I live by the taquerias, but no, I live by Technology Row. I can order real good. I'm real good at ordering.
You memorize the essentials. Yeah, you're fluent in the essentials.
Let me tell you. Yeah. But yeah, so it was like, it's self-identity, me figuring out even what I believe, like growing up Christian, what do I believe today? And it's like, so who am I? Who do I think I am? But it's also, who do I think I am to dream so big, to be this little Mexican girl from San Jose, to say I want to be an actress. Like, I might as well say I want to be a princess. That's how far-fetched it was. I want to be Santa Claus.
Exactly. We all want to be famous. We all want to be.
Exactly. So it's like, who do I think I am to write a book? Who do I think I am to go for my dreams? Like, all of that. And so yeah, I worked with someone who helped me take my stories and put them in a structure that's actually for people, they can read it and follow my thoughts.
Sure.
Because I mean, I'm a storyteller. That's what I do on stage.
But it's very different than writing and reading and listening, and they're all different types of consumption.
You can follow my broken sentences when I'm talking.
Sure.
But reading it, you're like, wait, put a comma. Girl, put a comma somewhere.
Yeah. It is funny, though. I mean, everything you just described, I think from school to the title of the book, like, kind of shows where we've gone as like an industry and society and all that. Like, you don't need to be great at school. You don't need to be a certain race, certain whatever,
right?
And you don't even need to be a certain like in a certain industry. Like, you do comedy, but you can write a book.
Yeah.
If you can be on the internet. You can become a boxer now. You can
totally.
You can just pick. Once you have a following and an audience and whatever, like, you can just do. You can design clothes. You can sell food. Whatever. There's no fucking rules anymore.
Yeah.
And it's cool, but it's also like daunting in a way where it's like, I don't know, what do I do? What can I do? What am I good at? What should I stay away from?
So I went to junior college for a couple of years, and I just had to take all my high school classes over because I did not pay attention in school.
Right.
So I went to junior college, and they're like, okay, you're going to do math. Great. So I did a couple years, and then I moved to LA, and I was like, I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to try to do this. But for the longest time, I was so grateful that I didn't go to college. I was like, oh my God, look at all my friends with their debt. And, what a waste of time. I just went straight to my dreams. Let's go. And I never regretted not going to university. But then just the other day, I was watching an episode of Mindy Kaling's new show. It was, I forget what it's called. The Girls.
Secret Sex of Life of College Girls.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And I was watching this, and it was the first time that I thought to myself, man, I missed out on a whole, season of life, a whole experience, a whole, formative experience that was if anything, just for that, just to go make those relationships.
That's what's fun about college. Like, yeah, that show. I would imagine. I've never been a girl in college either, but it feels like it's very real. It seems like that's probably what the female experience is in college, and they do a good job of like, this is what it's like with boys and girls, and this is what it's like to have roommates,
right? And
all that, and that. I mean, college is. Like I always say, if I could redo college, I went to Fordham in the Bronx.
All right.
I don't recommend going to school in the Bronx. I grew up there. I don't know why I didn't think, let me get the fuck out of here for a little while. I stayed home and went to school in the hood. No big sports program, no fraternities or sororities, none of that. So it was just like, it was cool. But I did meet all of my best friends. Everybody who goes to there still stays in New York. So once you graduate, it's not like you lose everybody. So that part's cool. Wouldn't change anything because it also helped me get here. But if I could redo it again and go to a college, like I'd go down south where it's nice and warm. And there's big sports. And you can join the frat. And it's like, you know, go to fucking Arizona State. Go to pool parties all day. You know? Where would you go to college if you could go back and do it again?
If I could do it again, well, I'm California born and raised, so like people would come to California for the sunny skies and all of that. So I don't know. I feel like I would probably go East Coast because I didn't come to the East Coast until I became a comedian and started traveling. So I would probably do something like that. Experience seasons.
Go to
I would try that.
Shit.
Yeah, even though I don't like the cold, I would still like to experience it.
Give me some fall and spring, but those don't exist anymore.
It's all fall?
It's like you just go from summer to winter. It sucks. At least
my first time going to Pittsburgh, I was like in my early 20s and I was going for stand-up, and it was in the fall, and I saw all the different colors on the leaves, and I was so like enamored by it. I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful here. And all the locals were like, what?
Like, give it a week. Give it a week. It looks pretty right now at this moment. It's about to be ugly in a week.
Exactly.
And you West Coast people, you can't handle. I mean, the weather is like, as soon as it's like 55, you guys are like, ugh.
Oh, I know. And we rarely even get to 55. I just had my first tornado experience.
Oh, wow. Where was that?
In Nashville. So my husband and I decided to split our time with LA and Nashville, and I was just there this past week.
Like, you have a home there?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a home in Nashville, and it was about 3 a.m., and then my phone started alerting. You know how it's like an Amber Alert? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
And everyone in the room's getting them too.
Yeah. So my phone goes, and my husband's phone. I'm like, what is this? And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, tornado warning, take shelter now, go in a basement. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm putting like my clothes on and everything. I'm like, babe, get up. There's a tornado. And he lived for years in Kansas. He's a military baby.
Okay.
And
so he's like,
yeah,
relax.
Exactly. He's like, we get these all the time. Don't worry about it, whatever. And we sleep with a sleep sound machine. So it's like the rain sound.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Wait, what do you do?
We do rain.
Rain. Okay.
Rain sounds.
Okay.
No, could you imagine? Yeah, marine calls all night long, just like yelling at you.
Okay,
it's
so
real.
you do like the just raindrops. And does it have thunderstorm, like crackling thunder, or just the raindrops?
Just the raindrops, because then the thunder will like wake me up every time it crashes.
Yeah.
So anyways, we have the full-on Sonos speaker loud, just rain, like drowning out every noise, and then I turn it off. And as soon as I turn it off, then you hear all the sirens outside, the tornado sirens.
That's scary.
It was my first time.
I'd be like you and get in the basement. He can be a tough guy all he
wants. As soon as he heard the
Dorothy, I'm going to the fucking basement.
Exactly. As soon as he heard the sirens, then he's like, "Oh shit. Okay, yeah, let's go." And he's like, "I didn't hear the sirens."
Was it a bad one? Did one come?
Well, thank God it didn't touch down in our neighborhood, but it went towards Kentucky, and they got it real bad. So
scary.
It was, and I got my dog. We ran down to the basement, and then we realized we don't have any kind of like anything down there. No water.
Right.
We didn't
if
have.
You need to stay down there. You're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, wow, we have nothing.
Imagine the first time a tornado touched down, like way back in the day. Nobody even knew what the weather is. All of a sudden, they're just like, what the fuck is that thing coming towards us?
I wonder if since it was the first one, were they scared or were they like, let's go towards
it? I think inherently you know not to fuck. It depends. Was it white people or not? White people were like, let's go and analyze this. Let's go film this and learn about it. Let's jump inside.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they immediately were like, oh, God is pissed off at us. He's throwing some weird shit our way.
Yeah, totally.
So Nashville, I feel like Nashville is a hot spot right now. I feel like Nashville... I would go to Nashville instead of Austin. I feel like those are two spots that
everyone's going there right now.
Either leaving LA or New York because of COVID or taxes or whatever your reason was. You got to go, but they want to stay in a city, so it's got to be an up and coming spot. Got to be a city, though. And I feel like a lot of people picked Austin.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nashville, not that like it's some undiscovered gem, because people know Nashville.
Right.
But that would be my choice. I feel like that's the spot right now.
A lot of comics who moved out of LA did that. They either went Austin or Nashville. And we went Nashville because my husband's in music, so it makes sense for him to be there. All his writing sessions are there. Sure. We already had a house there for when we would tour. We would start out in Nashville and bus out wherever we were going, so it made sense for us to be there. But at the same time, I do love Austin. Like,
it's getting crazy though.
Is it?
I just saw something that was like, it was something like 280 new residents a day or something like that. It's just like flooding in.
Nashville too,
prices and everything's going up. Yeah, I'm sure
Nashville too. So I mean, I wish we had bought more property before it spiked.
I bet there's some people who got paid off of the boom the past couple of years. Or if you have if you run like a bachelorette party company, come get your like sashes and your dick straws at my store.
Well, because they have all these Californians and New Yorkers coming, and to where like any person who grew up in Nashville that's like, whoa, this house is like $700,000. That's a lot of money. I don't know if I can afford this, but we're going to try and we're going to put an offer. And then they have like New Yorkers and Californians coming going, wait, only 700,000?
700,000 down? Or is that the,
yeah,
exactly. The down payment? Yeah,
we'll take it. Cash.
Real estate is, we have a guy here who, he lives in Texas. I want to say like San Antonio. Where does Chaps live? San Antonio.
Love San Antonio.
And all he does all day is send me real estate listings.
To move to San Antonio?
No, just to rub it in.
Oh.
Just to be like, this is like $180,000 total. And you get like, it's a pool and a mansion and 50 acres. And it's like.
Crazy.
That would literally be like the down payments of houses around here. It's. For it.
But you could have that right in Connecticut. Just
zip
take
up,
the train for an hour. You got it right there.
Listen, I'm down. I would get the fuck out of here if I could. Everything I have, all my family, friends, everything's here, so I can't.
Yeah,
but I would be
stuck.
Gone, man.
You're stuck.
The city. Although there is something to it. I don't know. There's something
it's
about
got
New
a heartbeat.
York. Yeah, it sounds corny, and I don't know how to phrase it so it doesn't sound corny. But there just is something different, and there's a reason why. Everything's here, and, especially for shit like this. You're a comic, and you need material, and you need a lifestyle, and you need all that shit.
It's everything. It's the creative vibe. I feel like, touring for like 14 years now, I feel like every city has its own heartbeat, has its own energy, and when you touch down, if you can feel, if you're the type of person where you can sense things or just be intuitive or just be like in the moment and present and be like, oh, I feel this here, I can definitely do that in different cities, and I'll be like, wow, it feels sad in Tulsa. You know what I mean? Today it feels a little off in Kansas City. What's going on,
Right.
But New York has always been that vibe that just as soon as you touch down, you feel creative. Like you want to create something. You want to go like step outside of your comfort zone. You want to step outside of the box. You want to like think about like, okay, what can I do next? Where in other cities, I tend to get real comfortable. Even Nashville, when I'm there, I get real comfortable, laid back.
That's the thing. New York, like, it's kill or be killed. It's cutthroat. You got to keep going in a good way, sometimes in like a toxic way, but it's also like you'll never find someone being in New York being like, I made it. I'm good. I'm set. Also, because there's so many examples of people like, no, you haven't, because the guy going up on stage after you, or the guy, whatever after you is 10 times as big. So keep going. But I don't know. Sometimes I wish I didn't have that in me. Like I always say, if I knew 10 years ago, if I knew I'd be here back then, I would have been like, oh, good, I'm happy, I made it.
Yeah.
But I am not now. It's always just more.
It's always one more. It's always,
right.
What's next, though?
Becomes 100 more. But I guess, you're doing it. Like, what's next? A book.
Yeah. It's the what's next, but then also enjoying the what's now. And I always wondered, like, I would think about, like, someone like Kevin Hart, who's amazing and so successful, and Steve Harvey. And I look at them and their lives, and they accomplish so much, right? Let's just take Kevin, for example. Like, he'll do a movie after a movie, then a show, then a sold out arena tour and stadium tour and all of that. And I would think to myself, I wonder how he balances celebrating the accomplishment while going for more.
Striving for the next
while
one, yeah.
striving for the next one. How do you
It's
balance?
hard.
I need to
Because
know.
on his level to achieve it, it's like a 24/7 grind.
Right.
So you stop, and rest on your laurels a little bit, and that opportunity passes you by. Or I also can't imagine. I don't know how much more. What, Kevin? Leave some for the rest of us. Like, what's next? I saw a quote from him in some like celebrity magazine or whatever. They said like a source at TMZ or some shit asked him, "Do you want to be a billionaire?" And he was kind of like, "That would be nice. Like, it would be cool as a black man to become like a self-made billionaire. Like, there's not many of us. It's not about reaching that number, but like that would be cool." And I'm thinking like he said that like
like it's an option.
Yeah, right. Like he will decide if he wants to.
Yes.
That's the only thing stopping him from becoming a billionaire is whether he wants to do it. The way that you would ask me, you want to go get like dinner later tonight? That'd be cool, maybe.
Right.
Oh, I'll think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Like, shit. The fact that that's even on the table. For
Yeah,
you. He's
exactly.
unbelievable. He is fucking unbelievable. And I don't know whether he is this genuine or if he is just so good at the business and memory and stuff, but we've interviewed him a couple times, and he met us the first time, and then I think we did second and third, and those second and third times, he was like, "What's up, Kevin? What's up, John? How you guys been? Oh, remember this from our last interview?" And I don't know, maybe somebody fed him some notes from the last time, or if he really remembered it, but he makes you feel like you are the billionaire, and it's just like he could, if he wanted to be, Kevin Hart has the right to be like an asshole if he wanted to be. Like if I heard stories of him being like "fuck this" and "fuck you," I'd be like, I get it. He's earned that, but he's the total opposite. That's
absolutely
crazy.
So genuine, and he's been like that since forever. I remember the first time I worked with him years and years ago, like I don't know, 2008 maybe. It was a show in Atlanta, and supposedly we were co-headlining the show. And I went first. That's what it was like on my contract. You're going to co-headline this show with comedian Kevin Hart, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And it was just like the height of like my nail salon video had just come out, and it was like going viral and all of that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then when I got there, and he was there with his whole entourage who was working with him, even back then. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
This is different.
I'm opening for you. Like, this is not, you're a whole different.
I'm me. You are an enterprise.
Yeah. I was like, this is not even, why'd they write that on my contract? That's silly. I'm going to go ahead and open for you.
Right.
And then I
did
shame
my
that
game, by the way. Like,
right. And he was very sweet to me. Yeah, I got off stage and he's like, okay, Anjelah, you out there making it hard for me? Okay. And I was like, all right, yes, Kevin. And then I went with his crew into the audience and watched them, and they were videotaping him like on a full on like a camera. They're videotaping him, they're taking notes, they're like, talking to each other. He'll say something and then they're like writing things or talking to each other, and which is exactly how he talks about how he writes his material. But even back then, and I remember watching, and I'm by myself, like I just flew out there. I was just like, oh, it's just like 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll just fly out there real quick. And then here he is with his whole team, and I'm like, wow, I have a lot to learn. Like, this is insane. It's amazing. And then cut to years later, maybe this 3 years ago, he was doing the arena in Nashville, and my husband and I went. And after the show, he's talking to us and just like giving us any wisdom that he has. Just like, what do I have that I can give you? Are you doing emails? Are you doing this?
Yeah,
like,
that's one dude I would just want to listen to.
Like, and he gave us so much time, like actual eye contact time. And I was like, man, you're busy. Like, I almost feel bad taking this time from you.
This is your like downtime. Go fucking sit with your family or just by yourself.
Yes. And he had a second show right after that. And I was like, wow, you're pretty awesome.
He did. I think in Philly, he did the football stadium there.
Yeah.
Football fucking stadium for comedy?
Listen.
One man standing on a little stage. Probably like 75,000 people. Like, oh my God.
I'm over here trying to push Caroline's. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo.
I'm like, oh, I've only sold 100 tickets so far. Fuck. He sells like 100 tickets a millisecond. It's just, it's on such a level that is like, have you seen his new Netflix series?
I haven't yet.
It's interesting. It's cool. I mean, it's very much about him. And then I hope takes a lot of dramatic license because it's about murder. And
Right,
hiding
right,
bodies
right,
and
right,
shit.
right.
But I think between that and he had another Netflix special, documentary about himself. You can tell there's a whole lot. He has a lot of feelings about being famous, being taken advantage of, and money's not the answer, and more money, more problems, all that shit.
Yes.
And I think he's like the Oscar, all that shit, But it's interesting to see that, like, here's a guy who probably is on his way to be a billionaire, and he's like, a lot of his content he's making is like, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, what would you say what would you define your success as?
What do you mean? What would I
like? What
define
would
it
you
as?
what?
Not billionaire
Not
success.
a money. No, but is it a level of money you're looking to achieve? Is it something, a family status? Is there a do you want to one day sell out a football stadium? Is there something that is like the top for you that you want to do?
There's a lot of things that would be nice, like how Kevin was saying. You want to be a billionaire? Yeah, that would be nice, But that's not the goal. There's definitely a lot of things that would be nice in my career, but when I first moved to Hollywood to try to be an actress, there's two things that I wanted to do. Well, I was a extra on Friends, and still to this day, it's one of my favorite jobs that I've ever had. Like, I think of that time so fondly, and
Extra meaning like you were just like in the
I was in
background
the background
walking by. Yeah.
I was in the background walking by for season 9 and 10.
Okay,
like
so
I was
it's
in
popping
it.
then.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was making friends with the ads, like the whole cast and crew. Like I was like, I was part of the family. I got invited to the holiday party. I was like the only extra that was invited to the holiday party.
That's because you're schmoozing your way through things.
I schmoozed my way through life.
Yep.
I have no business
Snake
being
until you make it,
anywhere that I've been. I have no business being
I
there.
love that.
And so I've always said that I want to do a multicam sitcom. Does it have to be about my own life and I'm the like one star of the show? No, not really. I would love to do an ensemble show that's just like a big hit that people love, like a Friends, a Big Bang Theory, like something to where all these characters are just beloved. Everybody loves this show. It's like you can't wait for it. Does something to your friends and your family where you're like, oh my gosh, like this is our show. Like I would love that in my career. That would be amazing.
That's a good one to have.
Yeah,
I mean, that's that next level where people remember you forever.
Yeah.
Or they remember you by like your name on the show or whatever. It's like that level of household name where everybody's grandma knows who you are. Type thing,
that's the ultimate for me.
Was Mad TV a tipping point for you? Was that like when things, or had you already like really been established by then?
No, that was brand new. That was one of my first. And here's the thing about that.
So you got that like early on?
Honey, when I tell you I have no business being anywhere I've been.
Love it.
I never once took Groundlings or Second City or any of the sketch comedy classes ever. I had taken a free joke writing stand-up comedy class at a church on Tuesday nights. I had just moved to LA.
How many of those did you do?
I think it lasted about a month or two. I can't remember.
All right.
This is like 2006. And I was in there on Tuesday nights. They would have creative arts night at the church. And so there'd be like dance classes, acting classes, like because there was a lot of entertainment people that go to this church. So they would just cater to the people that were there. So I was in the acting class and we would do like improv games and I would be funny in the games. And there was a woman there. She was like, hey, I'm teaching a joke writing stand-up comedy class. Would you like to take my class? And I was like, is it free? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Had no desire to be a stand-up comic at all. But I take her class and I was like, I do this nail salon character that I just do. Like at cheerleading practice, I would do the nail salon character. And I was like, I think I could make that into a joke. And she's like, oh my God, nail salon jokes are so hacky. Like everybody has a nail salon joke. I would steer clear of nail salon jokes. And I'm like, okay.
Imagine if you listened to that.
Right. I was like, you know what? I don't know if anybody does it like me though, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it.
Right.
And so I do this nail salon joke. It ends up blowing up my spot on this brand new thing called YouTube. So it was like perfect timing of a really relatable joke that so many people connected with and this brand new thing called YouTube. And it was at the time when if you got an email with a video in it, you definitely watched it because it was a new thing. It was like, wait, there's a video in my email.
I can watch video and it's free and it's funny. And,
and there's no commercials on it at that time. Like there's nothing. You just watch a video.
You forward it to your friends, a chain mail, all that shit. Yeah.
Exactly. So it started doing that and like going crazy. And so from that, this is MySpace days. Okay. I don't know how old you are.
36.
36?
I never had a MySpace. I lived through the MySpace. I just never had it. I don't know why. Just never.
Okay.
I've been on everything else.
But you know the era.
Oh yeah,
of
for
MySpace.
sure. And I know MySpace and the HTML and Tom and
Top
Friends and all that shit. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Your profile song, everything.
Yes.
So this is MySpace days. This video comes out on YouTube, and my MySpace starts blowing up. Like people start messaging me from all over the world. When are you coming to Australia? When are you coming to the Philippines?
Just
when
over
are you
this
coming
video.
here?
It's like do what? This video? That's it.
I have 12 minutes of stand-up comedy under my belt at this point because I just took a free class at church. I'm not even a comic. I just took a free class at
and
church.
And you got people in Australia banging on your door.
Yes, I did a set at
dope, though.
the Ice House in Pasadena, and this company filmed it and uploaded it to YouTube, and now it starts going crazy, right? So it's like, when are you coming here? When are you coming there? And I start getting overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? People know of me. This is my first time, other than being a Raiderette, this is my first time having some sort of notoriety and people knowing who I am. Like, as a Raiderette, people didn't know me.
I was going to say, they know the
uniform.
A Raiderette, but they don't know your name.
Like, ooh, you're a Raiderette. It's Oakland Raiders is the name you say. But this is people were knowing my name and things about
your work and not just dancing and shaking your ass and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I don't know what's happening. So I start getting thousands of messages a day. Thousands. Fuck. I don't even know how to handle. I don't know how to be famous. So I'm replying to every message. I don't know celebrities don't have to reply to people. I don't know how to be a celebrity.
I'm always like, thank you so much. Yeah. Where are you from? What do you do? I'm like, what am I?
Full on. Yeah. And then I start doing, let me just copy paste. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the support. And then people are replying like, is this a robot? Because you said this to me already. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know how to be famous. Yeah. So anyways, this starts blowing up. I start getting messages from assistants to network executives. They're like, hey, I'm the assistant to so-and-so at CBS, Fox, fill in the blank, NBC, Endemol Productions, like all these different production companies. Hey, I'm the assistant to so-and-so. They would like to meet with you. So now I'm getting meetings all over Hollywood, all over this town. At this point, I don't even own a calendar. I had to go to Staples and like buy a pen and a calendar. Like this is before iCal. This is all, I'm just like, oh my God, like I have meetings. I don't know what to do. I'm going to these meetings. Again, this is like, who do I think I am? This little Mexican girl from San Jose sitting in this office with like NBC
executives
network executives,
suits,
and there's full on like free pastries, and I'm like, we can have this for free. Hold on, where am I? Who am I? And so this starts going crazy. This is 2007 now. This video comes out like from January to February. There's like 4 million views on this video. It's
that's like. On Facebook or
this is YouTube.
MySpace YouTube's like 06 is really when it really like you're early. We're
talking
like one of the first viral videos as far and as a creator, like viral videos of like we captured this silly thing on but trying to make a video. Who told you to put it on YouTube?
Nobody. I didn't put it up there. That company that filmed me that
Got
day.
It. Thank God.
So what happened was
like the amount of things that need to fall into place.
Yes, and people think I made a lot of money off that video. I made no money off that video.
Shit off that.
Because I signed a little piece of paper for $25, and so they own that video. I got Top Ramen and Gas, and they got all the views of that video. But I got my career.
Door open. Yeah,
I got my career.
For sure.
So anyway, I start getting these messages, taking meetings with people, and I got a new agent. I didn't have an agent. I got a new manager, like all of these things. And this is coming off like I was an extra and everything. And at this point, it was like I was done being extra. I was on unemployment. My unemployment checks had run out. Like I was at that season in my life where like everything was saying, hey, you tried, but it's time to go back home to San Jose. Exactly. Like, girl, you gave it a good shot. Go ahead. And so I stayed in LA, even though I was broke and my unemployment checks had run out. I stayed in LA because my sister would send me money to pay my rent, and she would send me gift certificates to the grocery store. And she was like, no, like stay, like don't give up.
Yeah,
like
keep
she
going.
really like
Even that
kept
it's
me
like
there.
That company put it on YouTube. Your sister helping out with the bills. Church giving you some topics. YouTube popping up when it did.
Yeah.
It's like the recipe.
Just like I was telling you in the beginning when you were saying, how'd you know it's time to write the book? I feel like God, the universe, will send you people, things, signs, omens, whatever along the way to help push you in the right
but
direction.
you got to see them and know them and take advantage of them.
You got to be in tune.
Yeah.
You can't be so busy scrolling on the gram. You can't be so busy out there at the bar. You got to take some time to be like, hold on, let me tune in for a second.
Yeah. And know, like, now's the time. You got to, like, sense. Bert Kreischer was talking about I keep saying YouTube, the MySpace era with Dane Cook. Because Dane Cook told him, they were friends, and he was like, yo, you should get on this MySpace thing. Like, I'm selling tickets. And Bert was like, yeah, okay, dude, like, whatever. And then, Dane's doing, like, arenas right away because of that. And he was like, okay, it's time to do MySpace, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're early on these things, and it sounds like you were with YouTube, but I also find it to be so exhausting because you got to keep, I got to be on TikTok now, and I got to be on whatever's next. And it's like, I'm like, are we ever going to stop? Or am I gonna have to be
relevant
on
is exhausting.
It's the worst.
I hate being relevant.
Yeah. No, two things I really hate is the grind of three things. The grind of keeping, like, I got to download another and tailor my work to their fucking rules and algorithm. The second thing is just straight up getting old and feeling like, it's like I was making fun of the 36-year-old guy trying to stay young and relevant by being on the new app, and now I am that fucking guy.
Yeah.
And the third thing of feeling like it's just never gonna stop. It's just gonna keep going. And I don't like. It sounds bad, but it's like I liked being like an anonymous troll, basically. Like I like to be able to make jokes without the backlash of.
Sure.
The person, it's like it's crazy now that I could crack a joke about a celebrity and like they might hear it or send me a message being like, what the fuck was that about? And it's like I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm just a clown watching my TV and making jokes with my friends, and now I have a platform and I don't mean anything by it. But this is how we bust balls, or athletes when we talk about teams here. It's like I liked it better when you could just have no consequences, But that's part of the game and why you get the money and everything. But it's like everything's so connected now that you can't just be like, oh yeah, that person looked ugly on that episode. And they're like, well, that was rude. I'm like, well, yeah, it was rude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know what?
Of course it was rude.
You're right. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
Absolutely. I'm a fucking moron. Like I'm just an idiot. Like you said, I'm very in tune with that idea of like, why me? Who do I think I am? Like, but I also think that is what you answer your own question, because I think you're very relatable. I think people think that about themselves and almost think like, wow, this girl was in the same spot I was and she made it. So everything she says I can understand and relate to, and it's more than if you grow up in Hollywood or something and you make it, it's like, all right, cool, whatever. You're talented and you got put on by your parents or something, whatever, fine. But if you make it and you're normal, everyone's going to love it that much more, There's a million more stories of yours of, other Anjelahs out there than there are of the people who, got it handed to them or whatever. And I'll go to my grave saying the more important thing is to be likable and be able to crack jokes. And,
absolutely.
If I have to pick between book smarts and street smarts, take the street every single day.
Right. Same. I mean,
and being a good person, yeah.
Be a good person. Exactly. Don't be an asshole. Like, it's the whole, like, hey, treat people the way you want to be treated. You know how we were taught that in kindergarten? But then also, if you actually really do that, it's karma. It's you reap what you sow. Like, you put it out there, the energy, and it comes back to you.
I also, though, do you ever feel like sometimes I'm like, it is business, and I probably do need to be a little bit more of an asshole. Like, I do have to have a little bit more of an edge, or yell at some people, or put my foot down, or big time some people, or even with fans, it's like in the beginning, maybe you sign every single autograph, and one day it's like I can't sign ever. I can't take pictures all night long. So like certain things where you do have to remind yourself.
You have
like,
boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
You have boundaries for everything. You have boundaries with fans. You have boundaries in business, in not letting people take advantage of you. And sometimes you have to boss up and be like, hey, now I have to put you in your place, unfortunately, because you did this. And then people are know? Exactly.
I can't believe that, but it's like, don't make me do that to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, just like my dad used to say, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you, okay? This is very uncomfortable for me. I do not like having confrontational conversations, okay?
And at the time, you're like, bullshit, but then you grow up yourself, you're like, makes sense.
And being a boss in the entertainment industry, that's what you are. You're your own boss. So everything with your agents, your managers. Like if I ever had to leave an agent and move to a different agency, oh my God, it's like breaking up with a boyfriend.
For sure.
Oh, it's awful. And just, I still like if I were to run into one of my old agents on the street, like I would be like, oh man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah,
it's hard. It's hard being a boss. That's why, again, I need to talk to Kevin. How you do this?
For real. And then like managing the internet's a whole other. Are you like plugged in? You know, are you like?
I do have a team.
Are you on your Instagram or are they on your Instagram? So you're on
both. So I have a team that manages like the overall. Like I'm doing an announcement today with pushing my book, and we're doing like, you know, the first people to pre-order my book, 100 people who pre-order my book, they get like 50% off a Cameo shout out on Cameo. Mm-hmm. And
how do you feel about Cameo?
So
part of me is like, do it, make some money, it's good for the fans, and then part of me feels like, I don't know,
same.
Like panhandling almost, you know what I mean?
Same. I feel all of those feelings, which is why I'll get on it for a little while and then I get off. I take my breaks and then I'll come back on for certain things. So like the last time I was on, it was for a charity event. And so it was like, hey, I'm going to donate some of these proceeds to this charity and I'm going to be on for 2 weeks. So get your request in for 2 weeks and then I come off.
Right.
And so this is for this special campaign to promote my book. You pre-order it, I'll give you a shout out, you know? So with that, I made the video and I give it to my team. They edit it together. They put it up. They tag the right people that need to be tagged and all of that kind of thing. And then if it's a more personal post, I do that. Like today's my dad's birthday. I'm about to do a post about me and my dad. Like that's going to be all me. And
happy birthday to him.
Thank you. Anytime I reply to people, that's me replying. Oh, back to my dad though really quick. He's 70.
Okay.
He's turning 70 today. And I was like, Dad, I FaceTimed him this morning. What are you going to do for your birthday? This is how simple life gets when you get old. You don't need much. I'm like, Dad, what are you going to do for your birthday? It's your 70th. He goes, oh, my sister's Veronica. He goes, oh, I'm going to go to Veronica's house. I'm going to get some of the lemons off her tree because them are some real good lemons.
That was it?
That was his birthday.
That was it? There was not like something to do with the lemons after that
even? Well, yeah, he said
the lemon.
He said because I got this new iced tea. It's real good. It's real good with these lemons.
I can feel. You get a good iced tea.
It's real good with these lemons. And hey, the lemons on Veronica's tree, those are some good lemons. So I'm gonna go get me some of those lemons for my iced tea.
It's like when life gives you lemons, but the good way. It's like when life gives you lemons from Veronica's tree. Celebrate that shit because they're fucking good.
Even if it's your 70th birthday, that's how good they are.
That's the life I want.
Simplicity.
I just want to be 70 picking lemons off a fucking tree and be happy about it.
Right.
You know? Because that's all it is. It's just like your mentality.
Totally.
You know, it's like if you got a rush from planting a lemon tree, then that's all you need in this world. You know?
Exactly.
Are you on the internet to the point that you like, will you get caught up in it? You know, there's drama and beef and fights. Are you ever like mixing it up with anybody on there?
No. That gives me anxiety.
Smart to stay out of it.
That gives me too much anxiety. The only time I get beef with someone is if a troll comes for me on my own, like Instagram. Every now and then, I'm going to be like, I got time today.
Yes. You got to remind them every now and then.
A lot of times I just
leash,
exactly.
You know, like, get back, sit down. Yeah.
Nice try, but I got time today. So what's your name?
Right.
But no, I try not to. It takes my energy, my peace. I don't like it. But sometimes though I scroll for too long.
I mean, it can get funny. Like they not trolls and shit at you, but when I'm always amazed when the internet does its thing. I'm like, man, these are some of the funniest jokes I've ever seen. And these people are not professionals, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You get some shit going in Black Twitter. You get some funny kids coming up in the next generation who are just like nailed it with a tweet or whatever, a meme. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. And this is just some dude with like 200 followers.
Yes. Crazy. The funniest thread that I had ever seen, and it's gone now because he deleted it, but it was Chloe's man, Tristan, right? And I think it was maybe right after, like, he cheated on her or something happened. But anyways, it was his last post that he had. The thread of comments, people going in, but it wasn't like they were being like, oh, you're a this and a that, like, who, whatever. I don't need to read that. They were so funny.
So good.
It was, I hope you wake up running late and stub your toe.
Yeah, little.
It was
things like
all
that.
of those
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh, I
Everyone
hope
can
you go
relate
to,
to.
you're craving a sandwich and you go to make a sandwich and all that's left is the end of the bread.
Right.
It was like all those kinds of
Yes,
things.
yes.
And I was there for so long. People were so funny.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is the funniest thread I have ever seen. And then he deleted the post. And I was like, oh my God, that was so golden
Yeah.
though. These were all so good.
That's why, I mean, Twitter, and you have access to the, like, to me, we were just talking about it with, did you see with Nancy Reagan this weekend?
No, what happened?
Oh God, this was crazy. This one's a wild one.
Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, she's
still
dead.
there?
She's gone. She's
I
she's
was like,
long dead.
happened?
But
Hold on.
well, this was about her when she was younger. This woman, it was like a political thing. They're talking about Madonna. So Madonna posted these pictures. She did a photo shoot at age 63 in like lingerie and had a nipple out and
Madonna?
yeah.
Okay.
And 63, like
Let's go,
still
Madonna.
got it, right? And this woman was like, "This is how Madonna acts when she was 63. Look at how Nancy Reagan was when she was 64." And Nancy Reagan's all like buttoned up, the family and everything.
Being all Nancy.
And then the other side was like, "Oh, really? Well, did you know that back in the day, Nancy Reagan was known as like she gives the best head on the MGM lot in Hollywood."
No.
And it was all about how she was known for,
For fellation.
for giving out pleasure back in the day.
Wow.
Like known in Hollywood as like that's Nancy. And the the tweets and the memes and the jokes of just being like, and I mean I was like, this is the funniest shit I could ever imagine. Nancy Reagan, long gone. God rest her soul. She's probably like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah, she thought she got away with that one. It was before
honestly, she
social media.
She was sitting there like, oh, I'm first lady. Like, nobody knows about Hollywood at all. But, I mean, people just, the jokes were flying about her. And it's
Let's
like.
go, Nance.
Right? It's like, damn,
Come
girl.
on.
No wonder how she landed Reagan,
You know?
She got to the Oval Office. She was doing.
Hey, you won, girl. You did it. Don't worry about how you got there. You got there.
Yo, that's another avenue too. You got OnlyFans popping off. You got everybody taking control and making their money on the internet now.
Get your money, girl.
Right?
Get
I would so be on OnlyFans.
I couldn't.
I tell all these girls, go on OnlyFans.
Let me
do it
tell you.
anonymously.
Let me tell you.
Why couldn't you do it?
If I post a picture that has like some cleavage or it's like real, like, I don't know, showing my body, right? I'm wearing a bikini. I'm on the beach, whatever.
Right.
And if I even get just like 2 nasty DMs and I'm like, oh my God,
I know,
I'm so
it's
disgusted.
Tough. It's tough.
Delete. No,
Yeah.
I can't. So
But
anytime I get
that's the difference though. Like your Instagram is open to everybody.
Right.
Your OnlyFans, people are signing up and paying. They love you.
yeah,
They're not
but
going to sign up and pay unless they are like, I want that.
I know, but
I
then,
like that.
But then if they show up at my show and then I
Yeah, well,
know
that's where it
they
gets
know
all
what my
wacky.
boobs look like, then I'm just.
Well, that's you got to
ooh.
do it anonymous. You got to do it anonymous and then post and be like,
There's anonymous-
This is just don't
This
put
is
your
my
face in
friend.
it. Yeah, this is my friend who's just got.
If you guys are
her
into that
body
kind of
looks
thing.
exactly like mine, and that birthmark is matching. But like, whatever.
It's
no big
whatever. Hers is a third nipple. Mine's a birthmark. Lies.
deal. You see, though, I mean, I feel like I see a girl who's making like $100,000 a month for posting, and go on, do
way.
you? Like, you're blessed with
Yeah.
that. But I'm like sitting here trying to come up with funny podcast shit and material and
Trying
shit.
our hardest.
Here I am trying to make money. You don't even
Right.
have to try. It just falls in your fucking lap.
Right.
I'm like, if I could do it, see you guys later.
Guys
I'm
can't
out.
do it.
I mean, we could. I don't think anyone's paying for this.
I mean, you never know. There's a
Yeah,
market
there's
for everyone.
The lid for every pot, You're right. You're right. What would be? People have asked me before, like, okay, well then, what would your number be? I got 2 little kids, so I can't, like, if it was anonymous, maybe I can't do anything publicly like that after I'm having kids. But if I was single and somehow I knew there was a market for me doing it, I would do it for some of the money that's floating around now, man. These people are making like millions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Oh my
like
God.
regular girls living like.
So that's like the
buying
new strip
Porsche.
club.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's exactly like that. And a lot of it, I don't know how they do it anonymously because usually you have to have.
I didn't know you could be anonymous.
Well, yeah, you just, don't post your face in it, come up with some name. And the only thing is usually you have to have somebody promote it, like with an account that has followers. So, but if you get somebody to do that or whatever.
That's interesting. I don't know a lot about the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
All I know is
you're
like the
good. You
memes
don't
and the
need to.
GIFs and all of that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
could never.
That's the good
If I
side
get
of the
insecure
internet.
about cleavage,
Yeah, no.
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh
That's
my
a
god, this
different
guy
world.
said something nasty about me. And then, like, if I ever post anything that shows my body or like me like being sexier, I'll look at my tagged photos, and then there's all these different accounts that grabbed a screenshot from my Instagram stories, and they're like zooming in on parts of my body and like posting it, and it's like
it's hard out here for a chick. It's
it
grimy.
really
It's
is.
grimy.
I was like, I was just trying to have a good time in Mexico, you guys. Did you really have to break apart my body and like post it in different pieces?
I know, and unfortunately, that's like the game. That's just the bad side of what comes with all this.
I know.
All the good of money and security
Yeah.
and funny and books and all that. I guess you got to deal with the downside of it. But I feel like checking off, author, bestseller
Yeah.
type shit is a
Come
cool
on.
one that like not many people get to do. you
Hey,
know?
from your mouth to God's ears, let's go.
Right?
That would be nice. That's one
yeah.
of those things, like, to be a best-selling author. That would be nice.
Yeah, that gives it's like comedian. Sure, people respect that.
Yeah.
Author, best-selling author.
That's different.
What's up?
That's a whole different thing, especially like if I'm talking to somebody random, if I'm on the airplane and they're like, oh, what do you do? You know, I always gauge like how much conversation do I want to be in, and that's what I'll reply.
Right.
Because if I say comedian,
Have I seen you before? Or what
yeah,
special
or
are you
anything,
in,
actor or comedian,
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
just like, oh, have I seen you before is question number one.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Have you?
Yeah.
Fucking
And
look
then
at
in
me.
stand-up comedy, they can't imagine me as a stand-up comedian. So then they're like, really? And then it's just more questions.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I just be like, oh, I'm in the entertainment industry. And then I'll
Very
switch
vague,
it and I'll be like, yeah, my husband's in music. And then I'll like flip it to my husband and be like, you could ask about him. And I'll just say
Yeah.
real quick, oh yeah, he writes songs for like commercials and stuff.
Right.
And done.
Well, it sounds like things are going good. So congratulations.
Definitely
on that.
blessed.
And
Thank
the
you.
book, Who Do I Think I Am? Great title that so many people can relate to. I think
Thank
whether
you.
it's like making it in the industry, entertainment industry, or whatever. I became a mom after I was
Yeah.
a wild, crazy party. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like everyone's doing something that they're like, I can't believe that they like pay me to do this or let me do this. So awesome
Thank
stuff.
you.
And I wish you the best. Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
We're creeping up on 100,000 subscribers. It's all I've ever wanted for like the last decade is to get to 6 figures. So just fucking do it.
Subscribe.
I'm
Just
getting so
subscribe.
sick of being the amount. I see all these other people getting 100,000 subscribers and they're getting their plaques and they're not even close to the level of KFC Radio. They're not Barstool people. They're just like, they just get 100,000 people somehow and we can't. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for him. It's embarrassing for you. So click the fucking button. And even if you don't use YouTube, you just have a Gmail account. You just sign in and fucking click subscribe.